This is the Photo Gallery Lab 2 demo for Jonathan Park. So we'll start with NoSQL. So first we'll start the server. And now if we go back to our site, refresh, we see that we're automatically redirected to login because no user has an active session. And if I try to sign up, no users found. So let's sign up with a new user. We can see that we're able to sign up properly and we're redirected to the login page, but if I try to sign up, the user has not been confirmed. So if we look at our code, using the form to get the relevant information, hash the password, and store it in a database. So in the DynamoDB, we're putting this item into the table, but the confirm value is set to false until the user clicks the link in the email to confirm it. So right now, since the user is not confirmed, the email has been sent, but we're just waiting for them to confirm the email. So we see that we received the email. So now let's confirm it. Click the link. We'll go back to the login page, and if we provide the credentials, then we're now able to successfully log in. So right now this is blank, but we can create a new album just to test to make sure everything is working properly. Test one. And then we can add some random thumbnail. How about pizzas? So now album 1 has been created. We can add a photo to this album. So let's say add Python coding and submit. So we can see that we've been able to add a photo to our gallery. If we click on the picture, you can see information about the picture, when it's been updated, the title, description, and tags. So we can update this information. So I'll say Python 2, new, and submit. Oh, and this, when I click on it, will give a new title, a new updated time, a new description, and a new tag. So we can look at this code here. Inside the view photo method, if I use a post, which is what that form does, you can get the new information and then update the item in the DynamoDB. That this item has been updated properly. So we can also delete this photo from the album. So if I click delete this photo, then it removes the photo from the album. Let's look at the code for that. We just remove the table from the table, remove the photo from the table. We can also delete an album. So even though this album no longer has pictures, it still exists in the user's gallery, but we can remove that completely. That. And then there's no albums because we just removed the album. We can look at the code here. We're looking for the album ID and then removing it from the table. Now let's try to create another album again. And now let's try to cancel this count. So if we click this button, this will remove the user from the database and also remove all the albums that were created by this user. But before we do that, we want to test the timeout. So I haven't been active for more than 5 minutes, so no matter what I do, I'm staying logged in. So for testing purposes, we can decrease the timeout. Right now, that value is set to 300 seconds, which is 5 minutes. So let's decrease this so we can test the logging out based on a timeout. So we'll save that, restart the server, refresh the page, and so I log in, and then I'll just click around for about 10 seconds so that you can see that I'm able to access the site properly until the 10 seconds timer expired, and you can see that I've been logged out. And then the last thing we want to check is the cancel user. So we'll log back in to our application. Oops, incorrect password. And if I press cancel account, then that will redirect me to the login page. And if I try to log in with that same user, we see that no user is found. We can double check in our DynamoDB and see that it's empty and the user's been deleted. So a few things I forgot to show earlier when I was recording is that after I cancel the user, the photo gallery database is also empty because the album has been removed. You can see that's also reflected in the code. When I cancel the user, I not only remove them from the user table, but I also delete all the necessary photos from the album table. Another thing I forgot to mention is that when you log in, a token is created with the serializer and stored in the session variable, and that's what we're checking to make sure that the 10 seconds or the 5 minutes has not been exceeded. So next, we can test the SQL portion of the assignment. So we'll stop this NoSQL server. The first thing we can look at is the updated SQL commands. So in the utils, I have updated the user table.py to create the user with a confirmed bit, similar to how it was shown in the NoSQL. That will be set to true once the email has been confirmed. And for the album photo tables, we've added a foreign key that references the user ID from the user table. And that will be used later on. So let's start the SQL server. So first we'll try to log in. No users found, so let's sign up. Again, we try to log in, but user's not been confirmed. So we'll have to check our email again. We get a new link that allows to confirm the email. So actually, let's look at the code first. So this was the NoSQL code. So let's look at the SQL code. So let's see. Sign up page. So it's the same as before, except instead of using the Boto3 DynamoDB commands, we're using the SQL commands and executing them. We're still updating the table and sending an email. And similar to the NoSQL, we also have this login page form that checks to see if the user against the table to make sure it's confirmed and the password is correct and all that information is correct. And then the confirm email expires after 600 seconds, which is 10 minutes, to make sure that the user has confirmed the email within the proper amount of time. And then once the user has been confirmed, then you update the database to set the confirm bit to 1 and redirect to the login page. So we've confirmed it already. So now let's try to log in. And now we've been able to log in. So then we can just repeat all the steps that we've done before. Now update information form like we've seen before. So new tag. So when we submit, we should see this updated value change as well as the information here that will change. You see that's been changed. All this information has changed. The updated value has been changed. We can take a look at the code. And we can see that this SQL command is updating the necessary information in the database. We can also verify that with our SQL Workbench. We can see that the new title, description, and tags have been reflected here. What else? We want to delete the photo. we can delete it. If we want to delete an album, we can delete it. And those functions can be found here. So if we delete a photo, we're checking to make sure the user's been logged in. Then we execute this SQL command. If we want to delete an album, then we need to delete from the photo table as well as the album table. So likewise, with the NoSQL, we have a helper function that checks to make sure the user has been logged in a certain amount of time. What else can we do? So we need to cancel the user as well. So I guess we'll try to create another album just to make sure that the album gets deleted properly. So we've created an album, and so if I cancel this account, it should remove my account from the table. So let's make sure that the user is showing up properly from now. You can see this user showing up. If I press cancel account, we're redirected to the login page. If I look at this table again, we have no values because the user's been removed. I look at the album table, there's no values because all the albums that were created by the user have also been removed. And that should be all the requirements of the lab.